Welcome back to Sci-Fi Quest. Okay, so I put this off for a little while today. I've had a few other things I needed to do, but yeah, let's get into Silo episode 9 and see what happens. For a quick recap, Juliet, had been arrested or accused of by judicial that she said, "I want to go outside." So I'm assuming that this is her fighting against that in this one. So, right, we'll get into that in a minute. But 25 subscribers, guys. That is absolutely amazing. I am grateful for that. But I'm pretty sure we can do more than that. I mean, so, you know, give it a thumbs up, hit that like button, subscribe. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook. I have a Discord. If you want to find me there, we can have a little chat. And I do have a Patreon, and you can also find me on Rumble. Okay, let's. All the links are in the description below. Okay, so let's get into this, shall we? Okay, so right off the bat, I had forgotten that she had jumped over the railing on the stairs. So I'm guessing that this is them going to be trying to capture her, and she's basically going to be on the run. So, okay, let's take a look, shall we? So it's not only do they seem surprised that she even jumped in the first place, but I don't think they were. I think they thought that she was going to jump to her death because they didn't realise that there was that footway underneath. But I mean, if you grew up in a place like that, I suppose you would memorise every angle without even trying. You would just remember where the footways are. So yeah, but she grew up down below in maintenance, so maybe that's something she did since being sheriff, is that she's memorized where they all are, or she might not have even tried. Maybe that's it. Maybe those footways come off in certain angles all the time, and as they go up, they end up in the same positions, which would make sense, I guess. I mean, it is a long way down. It doesn't mean we do know it takes a day to get down and a day to get back. So, well, let's see what happens. So it looks like they're accusing Billings of helping her get away. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but because he does seem to have a lot of respect and loyalty to Juliet. So I can understand Billings trying to help her, especially after trying to tell Billings that she didn't ask to go outside. So, okay. I still think that's stereotyping. A bald black guy with a full black beard in black with a black leather jacket. I think that's stereotyping, don't you? And if it was any other show, then wouldn't they call that out and say, look, that's just stereotyping. That is actually, I'd say, borderline racist, because it's a black guy wearing black. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's stereotyping, don't you think? But I digress. Let's get back into it. What is this? It seems to be lighting up and pulsing a vibration. Interesting. That is a standout piece of tech. I mean, if anyone other than people that knew him or worked with him saw that, they would probably call it a banned relic, because, I mean, it lights up and vibrates in a pulsing. So it's interesting to see that there's another piece of tech, but it's more advanced in appearance than. I mean, I know we can create something similar to that. It's a key ring that lights up, but I don't think there's no a real practical use for it apart from being a light so that you can find your keys, which would make sense because I mean I'm pretty sure that we could make the technology to have a key ring that will pulsate and light up if we search for it on our app. So I mean I know we use those little eye trackers and stuff like that nowadays, and for smartphones, so we can track stuff if we want to. I believe some people use it for pets and stuff. And the idea of this, is it possible that there's someone else above him that's trying to communicate? And 18, does that mean he's number 18? Is that possible? He's the 18th member of a group? I thought we were going to get answers, and from the looks of it, we're getting a few more questions, to be honest. It seems interesting. I mean, the mayor, he certainly seemed concerned when it lit up and started pulsing. He certainly seemed worried about something as a result. So maybe that is part. Maybe they're the friends of the silo, but it's interesting to see that there's a piece of technology that would ordinarily be banned as a result of the rebellion. But okay, let's definitely see what's going on with that. I hope we find out, or is that going to be something that we'll find out next week? So he's concerned that he's lost his grip because of the syndrome. Because he's even saying now, even right then, he feels fine, but he's also said that he would rather people found out that he has the syndrome rather than believe that he's incompetent, which would make sense. But I mean, if the moment he says anything about the syndrome, I get the feeling that they're just going to disregard him. He's going to lose his badge. He's going to lose his status. So, I mean, I like Billings. He's a good guy in this. He's a good character. So, I'm not sure. I mean, his wife has basically said, "Go back to judicial. They liked you there. They don't have the same requirements." Well, I don't think he would be comfortable going back to judicial knowing what he's learnt since being a deputy. Does that make sense? Okay, so they burst into a nursery with an intimidation technique. I mean, I can understand, but I mean, really and truly, why does judicial have any type of security personnel whatsoever? I mean, isn't that what the sheriffs are for? So there's another question that's raised about the silo. But judicial seems to be a bit of a serious bully. You know that they're forced. The mayor obviously works for a group or is part of a group, but I don't think he's in charge. There are definitely people above him, because like it said, it said 13 on his. I think it was 13. It was 13, wasn't it? It said 13 on that Bob thing. So there's got to be other people involved above him. So hopefully we're going to find out and see more of those keychains, because it would make more sense to me personally, and it'll probably make more sense to you guys, because that's the way I see it. It is basically just like an identification thing to identify him as number 13. Maybe there's a reader that they put it on and it gives them the information and confirms their identity, maybe. But I can imagine that there's a sub level somewhere that's outside of the general silo, that only that key fob can get you access to. Quite possibly. That would make sense. I mean, they are quite secretive and stuff, so yeah. So this is where Sims tells her dad that she said she wanted to go out. Now, I'm pretty sure that he would realise that he's lying, because why would Juliet want to go outside and when, she was really getting down to the bottom of things, and she had reconnected with her father, and they'd started building their relationship. So I could imagine that her father would realize that it's not the truth, that he's lying. She didn't ask to go outside. She's being set up. He would know it because they've only just started rebuilding their relationship. The truth has come out, and it it shouldn't make sense to him that she asked to go outside. So, I mean, I don't know. But let's see where it goes now. So, I believe this is the first time we see Sims's family. So that's his wife and child. So, yeah. His child made Sims a nameplate for his desk. I mean, saying Robert Sims out of a piece of metal. Oh, isn't it sweet? After what he just said to Juliet's father, I mean, I think he would be an actual asshole. But, it's all because he said to Juliet's father that he would actually help people looking for his daughter. So, he would turn in his own daughter. I don't think so. I think he would actually try and protect her. Because of his status, he might actually be capable of protecting his child. So I would say that it was bullshit that he was not willing to turn in his daughter. I mean, why would you? Would you really? Would you turn your child in to people that are hunting her or him? Because I don't think I would. Okay, so she has a firearm. How does she have a firearm? The sheriffs don't even carry firearms. Has Sims allowed her to carry a firearm because, she knows how bad he is, what kind of person he is, and what he's capable of doing? So she's carrying a firearm to protect herself and her child? Is that possible? I entirely think so. Because she is either blind to what's going on, or she knows exactly what's going on because she said that she was a raider for 12 years. So she was a raider before she went to IT. So, okay, I'm not sure I agree with that type of thing. Especially considering that the sheriffs and the sheriff deputy cannot carry a firearm. They only get them out when they need them. Because I mean, I can understand that ammunition would be finite, so they would only have a certain amount of ammo. So it makes sense, but just a civilian that works at IT carrying a firearm, is she security for for the mayor, I should say? Who knows? But I think it's a bit bad that they would have her with a firearm. So Juliet went there to use Sims's computer to access the hard drive to find out what's on it. Which is okay, it's interesting. It's a way around everything. I mean, I don't think they would be expecting Juliet to go to Sims's apartment. So it would make sense. And there's the fact that his wife is clearly a high-ranking technician in IT, which would also make sense. But I don't like the discrepancy of the technology, the differences at certain points. I mean, the bad guys at Judicial, they have access to more advanced, more modern tech. So, I mean, I didn't like that. I mean, if one computer is banned, then shouldn't all computers be banned because they're all the same thing? I mean, obviously they try and make it seem that these computers are only capable of simple computing tasks and possibly, just sending messages like emails type deal. But I don't like the differences in tech. I mean, especially considering that it was hundreds of years in the future that this was supposed to be set. So, as far as I'm aware, but I don't, I don't know. I just don't like the tech differences. But the fact that they're searching Juliet's apartment and Billings went there and saw the broken mirror with the camera connection point on it, because she, from last episode where she actually smashed it and removed it. So I would have thought that if he didn't know about the cameras, then I would have thought that he would question what it was. So maybe he is. Maybe he's going to go back to his apartment and find out that there's one there. Who knows? Let's find out. Oh yeah, it was 18. So here we see it again. It's not lit up this time, so it must be some sort of communications or alert system to let them know that they need to talk or something. Maybe it lights up and it vibrates, and then he has to log into the system to have a conversation. Maybe a video conference, possibly with the rest of them. But I don't know why earlier on I remembered it as saying 13. Probably because it doesn't make sense and it's a question. But okay. Okay, so it's clear that Billings didn't know about the cameras in the mirrors. So, okay. So he's going to be searching for proof that Juliet wants to go outside, and that would make sense because he never saw anything that would suggest that that's what she wants to do, that she would ask to go outside. So yeah, okay. So she's been there for a little while, and it's taking a long time for it to access that hard drive. It's either that there's a lot of info on the hard drive, or their operating system is extremely slow. I mean, I wouldn't even say that was early 90s. I'd say that was mid to late 80s. That's how slow it is. Okay, so it seems that she carries a spare cuff key. Now, okay, that's smart, but I mean, why? If you don't carry your cuffs with you, then why do you... Well, in fact, why does she even carry cuffs in the first place? Doesn't make sense. But, yeah, okay. So now Billings has the book. It's either the book or the folder or both. I'd suggest that that's the book, which would make sense. But it was hidden behind the cabinet in the bathroom. Okay. Okay, and now the mayor is talking to that Lucas guy. I wonder what's going to happen here. He's pouring him a drink. Wonder what, but Lucas doesn't really have anything to say about Juliet, so it, apart from the message that he had from her, so. And there was also the fact that he went to see her after getting it and tried to find out what she meant, and they had a little chat about it. And he basically said that he wasn't going to help her, which I think is wrong. I think he will help her, but yeah, whatever. Okay, so to justify the cameras, they actually call them air quality monitors. Seriously, with a two-way mirror, and Billings has just found out that it's a two-way mirror. So I don't get what he's trying to say. I mean, the head of IT or the mayor wouldn't have the authority to question anyone, really. I mean, that's the job for the sheriffs and judicial, apparently. But fine if he wants to ask Lucas about all this stuff and call a camera, an air quality monitor, then fine. But it's not true. Okay, so he's asking Lucas. He pressured him into answering the question, and Lucas actually tells him that he saw the hard drive, and he asks if it had a serial number on it. But Lucas says that there was no serial number on it, but there was a number, and it was number 18. So it must have reference his fob thing, because his number 18. So I'm guessing it's something to do with him or his predecessor, possibly. Let's see where he's going with this, if we get a chance to see it. So the mayor goes to the observation room with all the screens and asks them to look for the hard drive number 18, and they said that it's a serial number is, I think it was like 9 numbers, and he says, well, this one only has 2, a 1 followed by an 8, like he's talking to a child. And he seems very, very, very upset about it. But let's see. And then we get Billings. He's reading the book. Well done, Billings, for having a look. You could have turned it in, but because you're actually a good guy and you're thorough and you're there without authorization, apparently, and yeah, you're looking at the book. Nice. I wonder, because it's plugged into Sims's home computer, are they going to be able to track the hard drive because it's connected? I reckon it's quite possible and likely, but let's have a look. Okay, so after the mayor has a chat with him about the fact that he sent some raiders to escort his wife and son home, which is apparently not what he was supposed to do. They tracked the hard drive to his computer, basically, and now he's running. So yeah, I wonder how long it's going to take for him to get down there. We'll see. So Juliet is still in front of the computer. She hasn't looked round at all, and Sims's wife is picking, or attempting to pick, the cuffs. I thought she had a key. I thought that's what she grabbed, but clearly she's trying to pick it and she's not very good at it because it's taken her a long time. Okay, so she was a bit shocked to see a video of George, and it was specifically meant for her. So cool. I like that. And let's see how it goes and what happens. It's very interesting. Okay, so Sims's wife got out of the cuffs finally, and she grabbed a hammer and she went up to her, and she basically telling Juliet to stop. You can keep watching and die, or you can stop and run. And at the same time, there's other stuff happening. So Sims is still running to his apartment, and we come back to the observation room, and someone is taking out the cameras. I wonder who that is. There's only one person I can think of, and he goes by the name Billings. So all I can say is that Billings is knocking out the cameras all over the silo on certain levels. On a level. Let's see. So it took him a while, but he finally made it to his own apartment by running with a bunch of people, and they're going to ram the door. Seriously? Would he not have a key? Alright, so so Sims noticed that the door was ajar, so he's starting to push it open. But what's he going to find inside? His wife and son sitting there, talking, playing, whatever. Juliet gone, because clearly she would have been gone by now. Unless she chose to watch the rest of that video. But let's have a look. Juliet's gone, and they're safe, sitting on the bed. That's what I thought was going to happen. So I wonder what's happening with Juliet. Where's she just disappeared to? I mean, clearly she didn't stay to watch the rest of that video. But let's wait and see. So Juliet went to Patrick, and Patrick got this IT guy. I'm wondering if this guy's going to be going to help her with the hard drive. It would make sense. She needs to. She obviously wants to watch the rest of that video. But let's see. So he's questioning like what is he going to get out of it, and Patrick has basically just said you're gonna help because and then she shows him the hard drive and he just changes. He just holy shit, George, basically. So we're going to find out more about what's on the hard drive, which hopefully we'll find out anyway. So that guy literally just plugged the hard drive into the computer and got access into it straight away. It was a lot quicker because obviously he's IT tech, so he knows what he's doing and he's used to hacking into silo systems, which would, curiosity would get the better of someone who's smart enough to know how to get into computers. So okay, and then we go back to Billings. He tore a page out of that book and then put it in the oven and turned the oven on, and now we go back and it's on fire in the oven. Okay. Seems like a waste of a good book for the silo. But, I mean, the fact that he tore a page out, it's got to be significant. What page did he draw? Did he tear out? Would it have been the beach? The cityscape? Who knows? But let's see if we can find out. So, she finished watching the video, and George actually tells her that it was when the former sheriff's wife went out to clean, and why she went out to clean. So, okay, yeah, and he mentions about a door. It's a very big door. I believe he said it was like 15 feet or something, and he couldn't open it. But as an engineer, that she might be able to, and he's basically told her to find the door. Which, yeah, okay, fine. It's good. It is good. Interesting to see where it goes, but there's not long left in this episode, so that's something we'll probably end up finding out next week in the final episode, which is, I believe, is titled Outside. Okay, so at the end of this episode, are we going to see this door, or will that be next week as well? Because I would like to see this big door. And it turns out that the water's not a problem, so it's not that deep at all. It just looks deep because it's dark. So they're actually seeing a recording from, I forget her name, but the former sheriff's wife, when she went outside. Actually, I think it's the former sheriff's. It's been a long time, so I can't remember their names, but yep, it's showing clear blue skies, everything's green, and yeah, and they can hear the birds singing. So yeah, let's see if we can see anything else in that video before it goes off, because it is seconds away from ending this episode. Okay, so the final image we see is some birds flying across the screen, but yeah. Juliet actually says that Allison was right. The screen in the cafeteria and all the screens are wrong. They're a lie. So, okay. Interesting. And next episode looks like it might answer the questions. Or will it? Will it leave us in suspense for season 2? Who knows? We'll find out next week. Okay, so that was a good episode. Not one of the best, but it was actually very informative, and they now know what it's like outside, and that it's being covered up and hidden from the rest of them. So yeah, next week is going to be interesting. It's the final episode next week, and yeah, I can't wait to see it because it'll be nice to have the final episode of Silo. It has been slow in a lot of places. It's been boring, but it picks up as well. So it has the potential to be a really good show. But I guess we'll just have to see what happens next week, and you know what happens in season 2. I'm going to keep an eye out for that and find out when that's going to be coming out, if it's going to be coming out. But yeah, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and you know, hit that thumbs up, click that subscribe button. I mean, 25 subscribers, that's great, but you know, it'll really help me out if you click that button. And you can follow me on Twitter, Facebook. You can find me on Discord and Patreon, as well as Rumble. All the links are in the description below. I hope to see you there, and don't forget, guys, when I reach 50, I'll be doing my very first live video, and on Monday I will be starting my new Monster Monday series. So I will see you soon. Take care.